Hello, this is John Bonnick, the Director of the Kingdom Business Association with Robert Maricak, who's a business owner who has had many successful businesses. He started 11 businesses, he's sold many, he's done very well internationally. One of his companies was in the top 1% of all businesses in Croatia. He's had businesses in other places in Europe. He now is in Fort Mill, South Carolina, and one of the things he does is encourages and coaches new business people and helps people in business. We were talking the other day about something that I think is very significant based on Robert's experiences as he, as a very successful business person, has gone and met with other business people who weren't Christians, but he discovered some things, he saw some things prophetically in them, and I'd like you to talk to us about that because it's going to give us a bigger picture of what is going on in kingdom business and what God has in mind for bringing business people into the kingdom.
Yes, what I had a privilege and opportunity to meet many business owners, $500,000, $1 million, 2, 3, 5, up to 50, maybe even more. Small, mid-sized, mostly in Croatia, Bosnia, Slovenia, but also Germany, Holland, all over Europe. Some in US, but mostly in Europe I'm talking about. And those people are, some of them are nominal traditional Christians, Catholics, some of them are just, no affiliation, don't go to church. Some of them even atheists, some of them agnostics. Just typical probably secular world today. But what I noticed, something was amazing to me over the years and years. I noticed that some of those business people who didn't go really to the dark side, to corruption, political cronyism, or mafia, or whatever, just who stayed after 5-10 years still in business and making money. Is this 100,000 or is it 10 million? But they are successful. I noticed almost the same pattern. I noticed this training almost that I prayed to the Lord, and I felt that was the Holy Spirit. I'm very careful about it now, doing His own work in those people, even though they didn't call it that way, they didn't understand this as that way. Church didn't see it or didn't understand to be that way. But I noticed this building up of the character, good character in those people. Why? One of the reasons, because they went through so many struggles in their life, so much hardship. They didn't want to bribe, didn't want to cheat, didn't want to go to mafia guys and whatever, and they still managed to make a decent success, or even in some cases a lot of success. And I could see in those people that they have some kingdom-like qualities, some qualities in their character that we Christians who are prophetic, charismatic, whatever, we would like to see in ourselves as well. And what I see and what I notice, what I pray, that I think when the time comes, those people will come to church when the church is ready, as well as those people will be even more ready. And some of them, many of them actually, who have money and success and experience, will come in many ways ready, in many ways, maybe not all, but in many ways ready, with good character, kingdom character. They'll come to church and there'll be huge blessings to the church. And that's also, maybe some people may see this as transfer of wealth, or part of it, maybe, yeah, I don't want to disagree with it. But the bottom line is this: many people in business, God used business for them to make their heart tender. So they started being followed, they started following Holy Spirit without even noticing, without realizing, without telling. But then after 5-10 years, when I know those people on a daily almost basis, they will say, well, yeah, it was something, it was my gut feeling, it was my intuition. Some people were like traditional Catholics. They started going to church and paying almost money, and like offering. They said, it must be God. I don't know what else, because I mean, it was hard, it was this, it was that, and I managed it. It was hard, it was this, it was that, and I managed it. So
you even mentioned
they see that process.
When you talk to some of them, you even mentioned the Holy Spirit is leading you. And they responded positively, isn't that right?
Yes, to few of them, because I prayed and I felt only to few to say this. I felt that it was not my time as Christian to really come to them and to want to offer sinners prayer, because the Lord said no. I did this few times without feeling right in my spirit, and those people ended up badly in church because they became religious. They left the businesses. Now they are like lost, not really in church, not really in business. Because church didn't know what to do with them. They just saw them for a little while as a big rich guy who comes, give us your money. Now he gave his money. Now he doesn't know what to do now. He gave his seed. And he gave up his business and his kingdom calling. And he's in a church usher, doesn't know what to do. Pastor doesn't know what to do with him 10 years later. So, and then I felt the Lord told me, no, Robert, it's a kingdom. So you pray for those guys. Most of the time they will not know. you tell them in the vocabulary and the language of the culture they understand,
Yes.
without telling, oh, it's a Jesus, it's a God, it's a Bible. So those guys were kind of taking more and more and more of God, using different terminology, just business vocabulary and lingo. And in few cases, I would say, let's say, I would be with a gentleman who is nominal Catholic, one of very successful actually, and he said at one point of time, Robert, what you did in business, what you are saying, only, what do you expect, by the Holy Spirit? That's the only way you can get it. And I said, yeah, I expect by the Holy Spirit. And this gentleman was like this. He knew me for many years, big business partners, millions going both ways. And he was like, since then, he completely changed, turned around his attitude towards me to respect, and he never, ever, ever dared to mention anything which is eternal, God, Christian, in any negative way. It was like a fear of God, like a deep respect, and like it's almost like a revelation in his mind. Then it must be Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. And I've seen this over and over again. So and it's more about the church, when it's church ready, which is this Lance Wallnau teaching and many other people, like, okay, church, what do we do with guys like that? Do we just put them to be ushers and take their money? Maybe they want to be partners. Maybe how about New Testament? How about Book of Acts, where we see the apostles, they found 7 wise men, mostly businessmen. They gave them authority to handle the distribution of wealth, and suddenly signs and wonders started following them. Maybe that's one of the answers. Okay. Or whatever else. It's more like a partnership between church leaders and other mature Christians in the church, and the future, business leaders from the world coming to church. And we need to find this partnership. Holy Spirit, show us. Yeah. It's not going to be the old model. Definitely not. Please, it's no way it's going to work. Old model of, business guy come to church, get a little bit of maybe board, maybe usher position, give money. No, this is not. We are talking about kingdom partnership. There is a reason why they're coming.
And for you as a kingdom business person, you really listen to the Holy Spirit and how to reach them in the language that they understood. That goes to the Book of Acts, when everybody in Jerusalem heard people speaking to them in their own languages. Well, they all knew the language. They all knew Hebrew because they're in Jerusalem. They could have heard that language, but they spoke in their own language. So you speak to them in the language of business, and when their heart is open, you let them know how they're discovering and knowing. So you reach them uniquely, and that's what we can do uniquely as you listen to the Spirit. Just love others in business, reach them in the language they understand. The other part of that is God is preparing many people out there for His kingdom. Yes. to come in as the church opens its doors and understands what the authority they have. Yes. In business for God's purposes. There's going to be a great ingathering. Yes. Of business for kingdom purposes.
Yeah, but church, get ready. Leadership, get ready. Download the revelation from God. What is the new model for 21st century of the kingdom-based church, if I can use that terminology? Yeah. And what do we do, God, with hundreds of thousands, millions of business owners, successful, already have money, that they don't have any second thought. If they come with money to the church, you can bet they don't have any, it's heart. It's something that is deeper inside of them, calling them to church. Let's see what kind of strategies can we develop, what kind of partnerships, how can we influence the world around us with those people. But please, I don't think it's going to be the old model.
Right.
So let's all work and let's all pray onto this.
And see the kingdom model together.
See how God is leading us.
Okay. God bless you guys.
God bless you.